Welcome back to Switch to Linux. We're doing an impromptu live stream here. So this turns out that I have a meeting here at 4 o'clock my time, so that gives me about an hour and a half, and then I have someone else calling me after that. So I'm going to be really busy after my 4 o'clock meeting, and so, I'm just going to be decided I'd go ahead and do my computer repair here and just do an impromptu live stream. I'm also soliciting ideas and comments for Browser Wars, which I'm going to attempt to do this week. I just have to find my notepad where I can leave some notes. Because, yeah, we're super organized over here today. Why not? That's what happens on impromptu live streams, though, you know? All right. Piggy Uniform, hello. Fedora didn't like Wacom on my PC, so I tried Arch again. How's Arch working for you? Are you using, how are you installing Arch? I was looking at Arch Bang the other day, and it's like, okay, this is too complicated to do just as a brief little test thing. Of course, there's the other ones. Is it an Antergos, I think, is mostly an Arch installer. Which one are you using? Curious to know. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to do Browser Wars here probably sometime this week. Let me talk a little bit more about that when there's more people that jump on. But for now, what I'm going to do is we're just going to talk about fixing screens and things. Vivaldi, I have not tried that one. Where's my pen? There's a pen. Obviously, we're going to look at the big ones like Chrome, Chromium, Firefox. I'm going to look at the new Opera, whatever, however you pronounce that thing, because I know there's some changes being done in it right now. And is it Epiphany? Is that the one that's in some? So there's a few to try out. Using stock Arch. Yeah, I'll check out your video there. Curious to see what you're doing. All right, so looking at some computer repair, I have my Lenovo S21 here, which actually I run Peppermint on. This is actually the computer that sits over in my study area, and it's a really nice writing computer. It's small, battery lasts for a long, long time. I don't know, 6 to 8 hour battery life, which isn't too bad for the fact that I bought the computer for I think $75 when one of the local superstores was going down. Problem is, I had it sitting on my table, and I came in and dropped a big bag of heavy books in there in the dark, like I frequently do, and it handed on the side over here, and I got a crack in the screen. So I'm going to boot this up so you can see what the crack in the screen looks like. So, yeah, not cool. So I'm going to go ahead and force it down real quick. It might actually be low in battery, too. It's been sitting over there. It's not like a computer that's a serious critical device for me. So I'm like, I'll fix it when I get around to it. And, wouldn't you know, let's guess what I got right here. I got me a round to it right here. Round to it. So what I'm going to do here with that round to it is we're going to go ahead and fix this. Because I was doing with some looking around online the other day. And what you do, you might be able to find a computer that simply has a broken laptop screen and everything else works fine. You can get it for a great steal. Because if I were to take this into Best Buy, I need a screen repair, real computer work. It doesn't fit our checklists. We don't know what to do with it. So they'd be like, just get a new computer and throw it away. Okay, the screen is going to take probably 20 minutes to replace. And it cost me on eBay. I found this on eBay for $36. So the screen is easy. Now, what I usually do is I usually have the computer torn apart and tearing the computer apart just so that I make sure I have the exact screen number. So I just did it based on the serial number of the computer. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, then oh well. I'll send the screen back maybe if I can, and or I'll sell it or whatever else. So what you're going to need, depending on the computer, older laptops, there would actually be screws in the front bezel. Most modern laptops are just snap bezel in. So this guy here is just a snap bezel. Let me find my other camera here and I'll show you more up closey stuff. If I can. I should get an extender for that one there. Let's see. Okay. And I need to find this screen over here. There we are. see what that gets me. Of course, I just ran my intro again. How fun. Oh, well, I'll just let it go again. There we go. Now we're back. All right, so I'm just going to take these last these 4 screws out. And the other thing that I have here, again, if you do any computer repair, this guy here is there's a magnetic wand. And I'm just going to use this just to keep track of my screws. So as they come out, I'm just going to attach them right into here, so my screws will stick right to the top of this guy. That way I'm not going to lose any screws as I'm doing this, or I can easily pull and extract the screws out and set them safely aside somewhere. So in this case, what I'll probably end up doing is just set them safely aside over here where I put those other 2 annoying flaps that Lenovo's have here. And this should hopefully allow me to just slide the rest of the bezel right off. Okay, so all my screws are out. Aha, perfect. My bezel just come off. All right, so let me go back to this camera here. Here. Why do I keep on going back to that one? There we go. Keep on going back to the intro screen. This guy here, I bought it on eBay for 35 bucks. So you can look around. There was a company I used to buy screens from called View One Tech. I'm not sure if they're still in business or not. Another company is, I just look on Amazon or eBay. And I usually end up buying them on eBay because you can use the buy it now without an eBay account. And that generally works just fine. So here is our new screen. So you can see it actually has a screen protector over the top up here. I don't know if that's not too annoying. I might just keep that screen protector. No, that's got a number down there. That'd get in my way. I'm not going to take the screen protector off until it's actually loaded. The first thing, though, I'm going to do is I'm going to verify that it seems to be the same screen. And usually what you're looking for is just some numbers, some part numbers, or otherwise they'll just kind of tell you that it's verified. If nothing else, just make sure that the pins are in the right place. So in this case, you can see that the pins are in the same place, pins are same size, screen's the same size, mounting brackets are the same size. So the screen will work just fine for me. So this one's the broken one, which I can see is broken up in the corner. And then down here, we're just going to first, where's my full screen there? Sorry about that. I did not know there was no sound on the other camera. I have no idea how that happened. I apologize greatly. Holy crap. You guys have missed half this. This is the worst live stream in the history of the world, huh? I should have been looking at the comments, and I wasn't looking at the comments up there. I got other things going on. Audio input. Add existing meteor. Transition. Hey, we have sound. We have sound. I apologize, everybody. Let's see. See, this is why I usually have my eye on the comments when I'm doing the news. I can see comments come up. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me see. What did I miss? I think what I missed is that there's the brackets up here is where the screws... I'm going to take that screw out there. The brackets up here are where you hold your screw mounts in. Just basically take those screw mounts out, and then down here, there's a piece of tape that lifts this up, and that seemed to work. So what we're going to do now is just reclip this guy back down to where we are. Refasten the tape back down. And now I'm just going to lift this guy right back up. Make sure that what I'm going to do here is there's some guides here for the wires to go into. Just make sure that those wires land right back in the guides. And then this guy right here, they just land right back on top where they should be. So I'm going to take my small screws, put these guys back in. Now this screwdriver here should be magnetized. If it's not sufficiently magnetized, just find a good magnet. I could use that one, but I'm going to use a hard drive magnet here instead. I'm just going to magnetize my screwdriver like that. And that way my screws, I kind of want my screws just kind of go in there so I can stay and just kind of slide them back in. Otherwise, it's kind of a pain if the screws are not falling into place right. Yeah, I don't know. I must have had this camera system set up to just to do a quick video test. I never put an audio in OBS. So OBS is awesome, but I totally forgot that one did not have sound on it. World's worst live stream, I'm sure. Definitely not Louis Rossman here. Huh? All right. So hopefully I will have my Bible study computer back online. Now before I put the bezel back on, I'm just going to go ahead and test it, make sure it works right. Like I said, this guy might not have battery left because it's been unplugged sitting over there in the corner for a long time. So there it goes, says Lenovo. Yep, this is telling me battery is critical. Is that? That's a USB. There's my power. All right. So, there we go. Peppermint computer is online. Sweet. All right, so if you missed it, or now I'm just going to peel the screen protector off. Booyah. And now we just need to replace the bezel. Okay, so it's going to slide the bezel back down there. We can just go ahead and start clipping. You want to be very careful that you're clipping just around the outer edges. You don't want to clip too close in here and crack the screen again. That would be bad. But now what I'm going to do is I have the 4 screws down here to put back in to hold the bottom of the bezel back on. And then I'm going to put those 4 clamps back down. I'm going to go ahead and shut down my computer in the meantime. But hey, I'm so happy I got my my little Lenovo computers back online. That's totally sweet. So this one stays over in my Bible study area. So I use this one. I think I have my Bible study tool notes on here. I don't remember exactly, but this is the one when I'm working on Bible studies and things. I got LibreOffice and other stuff on here. This one actually also dual boots Windows 10, but I should probably go back and take the Windows 10 off because it only has a 30 gigabyte SSD in here. So, but it's kind of impressive that I'm running. This thing does a true dual boot between Windows 10 and Linux Peppermint with plenty of disk space left to still be productive. Of course, 30 gigabytes on Windows 10 alone is not very productive, but that's okay. All right. So there we go. That's in. Just verify everything's down there right. And the last thing I need to do is I need to put my little clips back in. So it's going to stare at these for a second to make sure I'm putting them right in the right spot. Okay, so on these guys here, the clips have a little bit of an angle, so I know that this one goes on this side here. And I think they go in from the bottom. It might be easier if I put these on from having the computer closed. Have a look at the clips here. All right. Pretty sure they're on the right side. This is why I hate the Lenovo's with these clips. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not putting it on the wrong side, which is a possibility. Yeah. This definitely goes over here. These clips on Lenovo's are a royal pain. Okay, there it goes. That one on. All right, and that one on. So now we just need to come back over here and finish clipping this guy in. So again, we're just going to go around the edges. The next thing you can do is close this down and just kind of push down along all the edges, just to make sure that all of your bezel is snapped properly down on place. All right, so now we should be set to go. Let me just turn it back on, verify it all still works. Now we have a Lenovo computer back good as new. So if you missed it, I bought this computer for $75 at a closeout. Dropped a little bag of books on the top of it, broke the screen. And whereas if I took this thing into like a Best Buy or something, like the screen's cracked, they'd be like, it'd probably cost $300 to fix the screen, and we don't know how to do that because we have to send everything back. And then everyone would be like, I don't know what to do. I bought the screen for $35 on eBay, and it just took me that long to fix it. So that's kind of that. And there we are. Now we got Peppermint. So this guy here, I'm so happy this computer's back online. Wasn't exactly a critical computer that I had to put it online, but I do like this computer. And since it's been about 2 months since it's been on, I'm going to go ahead and apply some updates. Let that thing go. All right. Oh. All right. Let's go back over to this screen here. All right. Yeah, if you missed it, I forgot I did not have audio on that other camera. Wow, okay. All right. Hi, Dan. How are you? Used to fix laptops for 8 years. Super annoying, but satisfying. Yeah, it is kind of fun when you can get things going. Verifying that that's on there. All right. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Didn't know you were live. Yeah, I just decided to go ahead and do an impromptu live. Mostly because I have a meeting coming up in about an hour and 15 minutes or so, and wanted to get that computer fixed, and decided I'd just go ahead and jump onto the live there. Watching this on Lenovo. Woohoo! Yeah, Lenovo computers are pretty good. Actually, this computer here is a Lenovo. The big desktop that I have the little desktop I have in the office, I guess, is a Lenovo. Ah, Piggy Uniform's also on a Lenovo. Cool. Only Lenovo laptop I have is a Chromebook. Bye, Piggy Uniform. You're probably not here anymore, but see ya. Tell them resent the same one. Same serial number. Oh, boy. Some new Game Boy Advances are over $3. I'd say buy a new, use the computer once for parts and when you need them. Thing is not installing updates for some reason. Come on. Give me some updates. Give me some updates or I'll install Arch on you. Still give me errors. Let me verify we're on the internet. Anybody else having a problem updating Peppermint computers? Okay, the other thing I wanted to bring into discussion here, I'll set this over here while I'm talking here. The other thing I wanted to bring into discussion is I am going to finally do the Browser Wars video probably sometime this week. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them live or not. I just don't know. I don't know. Do you guys want to see a live Browser Wars? We'll do it on a virtual box so I can install whatever we want, even if it's crazy. But I can probably manage a good virtual box install, and maybe I'll do one with extra gigs of RAM or whatever. So the problem is like, I want to look into this current scope of web browsers because I still prefer Firefox as my primary browser, although on Linux I'll be using Chromium a little bit more because I keep logged into YouTube on Chromium. Now it's downloading files. There you go. That way I use Firefox for my primary browser. I'm logged into YouTube on Chromium, but I really don't want to be logged into any services pretty much at all while I'm browsing the internet and things like that. And that's kind of why I want to keep the thing offline there. But the problem with things like Firefox is now they're starting to implement the location services and the notification services, and that is the last thing I want. Is I fly by some website, and like, this website would send you notifications. No, this website can go on my permanent block list then. I do not want you to send me stupid notifications on my browser. It's like we are going mad with putting ourselves at the mercy of some of these companies and some of these groups, and just like what brought this back to my attention again recently is I was talking to the kid that I mentioned yesterday, and he says, he was doing some research for one of his classes, and I think this is probably on his Chromebook because they're required to use Chromebooks for school, and so now he's getting constant pop-up notifications from that website. It's like, we got to turn that off. Now he's using Chrome, so I got to go in there and figure out how to turn off notifications on Chrome specifically. I'm sure it's pretty easy to do. But, Firefox started to send me that notification, so I had to go into the About config on Firefox and figure out how to turn that off so that Firefox never prompts me for that. It's like, no, you may not know my location. No, you may not send me notifications. Turn those features off. And when it gets to the point, though, that I have to go into the about config file and mess with things in the hood of the browser, you know, under the hood of the browser to have the performance I want, it's time to switch browsers. And so Firefox for me, while I still use Firefox, while I like Firefox way more than Chrome, Opera still has too many problems with HTML5, so I'm not really interested in that. Of course, in the latest version of Opera that I believe, they're now embedding Facebook and WhatsApp in there. No! No! 1,000 times no! But the problem is, I'm looking for another browser that I can use that is still good, but doesn't give me pop-up notifications, doesn't want to inform websites where my location is. Turn these features off. There is no reason some stupid website needs to know where I'm viewing it from. You're welcome. I viewed your site. I got you a view statistic. Let that be enough. You know? And so that's kind of the thing that I'm doing. So I'm going to be looking at browser wars, and what I currently have written on my list is Chrome, Chromium, Firefox, Opera, Vivaldi, and Epiphany. What other browsers are out there that I can look into? There's another one. What's the, there's another one that's like Firefox, like Icy or something. Is that correct? I don't know. Hey, you know what? We're just doing a crazy impromptu live stream. Let's just boot up my... No, not over here. Over here, thank you. We're just going to go ahead and boot up my window over here, and we're going to go ahead and look up some things. What's going on here? My internet crashed. Okay, I think we're back now. My internet, my ISP is like crap. It's like, yes, isn't it so awesome how much competition we have? Wow, it's so awesome. You know, we have so much great competition. I can choose my ISP, so I graciously choose the one that crashes every 30 minutes. No, it's not Peppermint messing up my connection. It's just that my router now seems to crash at least 2 or 3 times a day. And so it's causing issues in that respect. So, yeah, just refresh it. It should be back now. Should be back. Is it bed red line? Back online. All right. Well, let's look up web browsers. Kitty chewed some cable, possibly. All right, let me go back up here. Have I heard of Firefox? Let's see, move my comments over here. Have I heard of the Firefox OS? I think that the Firefox OS was like dead or dying. I thought it was. Maybe it was thinking of the Firefox phone. Oh, hey, there we go. Hi, Dylan. Yes, I thought Firefox OS was dead as well. Has a community-maintained version, B2G OS. Huh. B2G OS. I'll look into that. Got a chance to use it yet. I've only used it on the emulator. Okay. Welcome back, Piggy Uniform. Installing KDE. You are a true distro hopper. Kitty chewed some cable. No, Kitty didn't chew some cable. Kitty is busy sleeping. Kitty is busy sleeping. Kitty. Hi. Say hi to people. He's like, yeah, leave me alone. What do you want? I'm going back to bed. Nice. Pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look at what web browsers exist in the world. We're just doing a basic internet search on start page for web browsers. I move this back over here. All right. Oh, list of web browsers. Let's look there at the list of web browsers. All right. World Wide Web from Nexus. Let's use that one. Hi, Anna. How are you? Yeah, you missed it, Anna. My internet just decided to crash out on me again. Hold on. My Peppermint computer is asking me questions right now. Keep. All right. Do you want to change the grub file? Please don't change the grub file. There's 2 operating systems on this little integrated SSD. Watch out for router malware. I don't think it's router malware. It could very possibly be. It's not the router that's crashing. It's the modem that keeps crashing. It's very possibly because I've been running the same modem since 2005. Of course, this is hilarious. I'm trying to decide what to do about this. Every 3 months on the dot, I get a wonderful letter from my ISP, like, an important update. We made a mistake. We haven't been charging you for your Xfinity modem rental. Really? The modem that I've owned for, like, 12 years now? Yeah. Wow. And then I have to spend all this time fighting with them on the phone. It's like, you're wasting my time, people. All right, Internet Explorer 4. I think we should do Internet Explorer 4. What do you think? I should install some wine and put Internet Explorer 4 on here. Completely unpatched, open ported, and everything. Let's do that. That'd be fun. Chrome, Edge, Opera. Opera Neon. Ooh. This is a useless list. I want to know what web browsers are in existence right now that I can look at. That's the question. What web browsers can we look at? Best browsers of 2017. Chrome's on the top of the list because we support everything Google. What's this last picture? Can you see that? Yeah. What's this last picture? Firefox, Vivaldi, Edge, Opera, Chrome. What's this last one? Anybody know that last browser? They might tell me in the article. You know, for an article titled "The Best Web Browsers of 2017," I'd expect to be able to look at this and look at a very interesting thing. Is the video blurry? Let's see if the video is blurry on my end. Apparently my live stream's not wanting to work too well. Okay. I'm not even seeing the live video going on right now. Oh, there it is. Just gonna see if the video's blurry on my end. No, it's not blurry on my end. Huh. Okay. I don't know. Whoa. Oh, look at that. They're trying to do some popover. Oh, that's exciting. All right. Well, never mind that. Apparently my ad blocker blocked the popover that they wanted to do. My internet is gimped. No. Maxthon, is that last one? Sea Monkey. I had some sea monkeys once. They were cute. I am using Cinnamon as my desktop. I'm using a theme called Mint Glass, I think. Hello, Lance. How are you? Firefox phone on eBay for $109. Cool. I wouldn't mind having one as a novelty. Video stream just froze? No. Can you try Tails for us? XFCE here. Yeah, I got my sexy Linux mint. Yeah, there you go. Sure, I'll look at Tails. Not a huge fan of Tails, but you know, use it every now and again. I do actually have a Tails. I do have a Tails install on one of my cubes. So I literally have a cube that runs Tails. It's kind of fun. Pale Moon, there's a good one. Have a look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load all these guys onto some virtual box. I don't know, some random virtual box that I happen to have laying around, and then we'll play with these maybe on a live stream sometime this week. Let's see what this company has to say. Okay, so number one, Google Chrome, best web browser in the world. It just spies on you and everything else. Why is Opera listed at number 2? The problem with it is like HTML5 doesn't seem to work. Microsoft Edge is 3. No, that should be 999. Firefox. Vivaldi. Internet Explorer, the Tor browser, which is really just Firefox, and apparently underwear. Okay. No, I don't want the best of it in the radar. Goodbye. How's that for your stats? 20 alternative web browsers for Windows you didn't know of. Dual browser. Woo. Nothing works on Edge. Ran one web browser. As long as it worked, I preferred it. Why have too many? Okay. I think the reason I run more than one, I run more than one web browser for 2 reasons. The first reason I run more than one web browser is for development testing. I need to have something running Chrome. I need to have something running Firefox, all the big ones, so I can do testing of websites. But for personal use, I stay logged into YouTube on Chromium, but I use Firefox for everything else. And so that way I'm not logged in with a tracking cookie onto the web browser I'm using for everything else. That's precisely why I do it. Vivaldi is FOSS under some shareware license. Let's have a look at that real quick. The web browser you will love. Okay. Let me have a look at that real quick. Let's see. See if I have Farron on here still. Change my settings back to Ubuntu. Also based on Chromium, which is even better. Still need to clean the dust, but more fun for education, huh? Dual core processor, 4 gigs of RAM. Can I run Cinnamon without lagging? I don't see a problem with running Cinnamon without lagging, but if you have 4 gigs of RAM and you can't bump that up anymore, you might want to run something lighter. Cinnamon is one of the heavier ones. It's not super heavy on resources, but it is one of the heavier ones. Ooh, if it has start page installed, that's a bonus for me. This is a problem I get with Farron OS every now and again. I have this excitingly wonderful blank screen right now, and like, I got the... Oh, there it goes. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I know. Go away. I don't need you anymore. Thank you. Go away. Go away. No. Let's have a look at this real quick. Because I remembered Farron has Vivaldi installed on default. Open, please. Thank you. So that's neat. I'm assuming you can change that background image. Like I said, I've never used this before. What I would like to do is, it looks like AdBlock Plus is installed by default. Yeah, this actually has a pretty neat set to it. It is pretty cool. It is pretty attractive looking. So I kind of want to go in and have a look at what all I can do on it. I don't want to fumble through that on a live stream, but I think what I'll do is just go through and look at these. Firefox ESR. Okay. I run a Core i5 with 8 gigs of RAM on my one laptop on Cinnamon. That runs great. 4 should work on Cinnamon, but like I said, it's just a little heavier, and so I think might want to look at something like XFCE or even Mate's pretty light. Ransomware affect GNU Linux. I think that there was some ransomware that went around last year. I can't remember exactly, but you know, I mean, it can really target anything. The important part is are you being intelligent with the things that you're doing on your site there. Start page, yes, start page for search engine. That's what I like. Personally, like DuckDuckGo. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of DuckDuckGo. Start page gives you Google results, but it anonymizes it so that Google doesn't see what you're doing with it. Isn't there by default when you install it? Yeah, I'm seeing, let's see. Let's see what search has. Okay, so yeah, they do not have start page on, at least on this version of Vivaldi by default. We have Bing, DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, Wikipedia, Google. I have no idea what Ecosia is. That's one I've not seen before. What is Ecosia? Oh, it's the search engine that plants trees. Cool. Yeah, has anyone used Ecosia for doing search? And if so, what type of search results do you get? I mean, I've missed this one on the radar, but that looks pretty cool. I wouldn't mind supporting something like that. And oh, it's powered by Bing. Powered by Bing. Nah, that's fine. I don't mind if it's powered by Bing. Bing actually gets decent search results, which is pretty cool. I was actually shocked about it, but I was hired some time back to go through somebody's website. We'd done a lot of page changes and look online and do 301 redirects to everything online. Well, Google found 5 pages. Bing found 75 pages that were linked to that website. And that was like, maybe Bing's better than I always gave it credit. Oh, boy. I have a laptop with i3 upgraded 16 gigs of RAM. Nice. Yeah, and this is on Farron OS, so they've done a whole lot to this, and so it's very possible that that's why it's here. In fact, what I am going to do, I'm going to see if I go over to Start Page here. I'm going to see how easy it is to add Start Page. I'm sure going into that search function again would have done it, but it looks like it. Oh, I must not be able to do a search for that there. Start Page. I don't agree that Google is the best anymore. I'm really thinking Bing does get really good search results. For better or for worse. Not that I'm about to support it, but open the settings menu, search in the left navigation bar, hover, start page entry. Add new search engines. Well, that's kind of interesting. I type in something up here and it just takes me right to Start Page homepage. I'll have to figure that part out, see if I can get that working right. I might have set that up wrong. We'll see. Okay, does Vivaldi support Java? New Firefox and Chrome doesn't, I guess. Well, that is good if they do not support Java. It is the biggest security flaw in the history of the universe. What's your main entertainment computer? You have multiple, which confuses me. Piggy, main entertainment computer is this one right here. It is... come back over here. It's this computer here, and just because what's usually right here is I have a Mac computer. Over here, where the empty space is, this is where my other monitor sits. That's a Windows computer, which I use for development. This one here is right in the middle, so I'll do streaming, I can do movies, I can do music, whatever else right off of here, which has a really cool 3-point sound system to it, so it sounds really awesome as well. So that's kind of what I use for Media PC. It's Linux Mint KDE, which is not, actually, it's not the best option for a media computer because it actually does stutter on video every now and again. I have noticed it on audio, which I thought was probably because it was a slow hard drive, but ends up being something in the operating system itself. And I know that because it now is running, this computer is now running an SSD, and I still have the same media stuttering. So those are kind of the computers I have. And then this computer that I'm on right now is a dedicated computer specifically for doing video processing, live streams, and things like that. I've tried to use other computers for what I do here. They just don't have the processing power. But this has, a desktop processor, Core i5, I think it's 3570K overclocked and 32 gigs of RAM in this. So it can manage all the HD stuff going back and forth. Java, I actually uninstall Java on everything unless I absolutely have to have it somewhere. And I'm very glad one of the big contracts I had required Java for some of the applications. So unfortunately, we were able to get rid of that. That's good. So Flash Player. Yeah, and even Adobe is calling for the end of Flash, which is funny. Some banking sites, yeah, banking sites like banking stuff like Verizon Wireless, few other sites. These guys are really starting to drive me totally mad with all of the third-party plugins and things, because I have my banking computer is set up on a on an encrypted Ubuntu install, and I have serious problems with that because, like, if I go to log into half the things I have to log into, I use Policeman on there on Firefox to block anything that's not directly related to the domain. And like all these banking things are going out to outsourced ad networks and all sorts of things on the back-end login portal. That is scary stuff. It's like, stop doing this, online banking resources, you know? The only bank I deal with that does not have that is a very small community bank out west somewhere, that they have one branch office, and you know, so they have a decent website that's not doing all this out party stuff. But yeah, if a banking software requires Java, I'd rather go to the branch manager and tell them, you got to get Java off this thing or I'm moving my accounts to another bank, because Java is so insecure. And the biggest problem with it is it frequently wants to update itself because of all the insecurities and ends up breaking stuff in the process. And, you know, a lot of the companies that are using and relying on Java, they don't keep stuff as up to date as they should. And so you run into all sorts of problems like that. Power start page compels you. Yes. Cannot remove me. I have your personal data. All right. Just notice that Ubuntu is slower than Fedora, Manjaro, and all the other DEs. Yeah, I mean, some people, and also though, it might depend. Like, I can't run Ubuntu Unity on anything prior than 17 on this computer because Ubuntu Unity does not work with AMD graphics cards until they started supporting those in 17.04. But, you know, it was a terrible bear to work with on this computer. So you had to keep that in mind as well. But, I mean, yeah, I don't think Unity was nearly as good as a lot of people gave it credit for. I liked the interface in some ways, but I thought that some of it was a little too clunky. None of my banking need Java. Okay, here's another distinction. There's a distinction between Java and JavaScript. Make sure we get that down as well. Java itself is a completely different programming language than JavaScript. And yes, unfortunately, sadly, almost every bank does require JavaScript. But Java itself is a completely different system, and it confuses the bejeebers out of the non-technical people. So keep that in mind as well. There's a critical difference between Java and JavaScript. So Java itself is it's a programming language that uses a series of individual modularized components like jar, which, guess what? Your Android apps are built in Java. So Android Studio is a Java-based programming language, which is different than JavaScript, which actually JavaScript is used even in desktop environments, like Cinnamon uses JavaScript. If you look at how the Cinnamon desktop works and several of the other desktop environments as well, they use JavaScript on there to make things work. And so, you know, JavaScript isn't nearly as dangerous, but Java is absolutely horrendous, and you should absolutely never have Java installed on your computer unless you absolutely have to have it for some application. DuckDuckGo is open. By the way, is DuckDuckGo open source or free software? DuckDuckGo is a website, so no. not necessarily, unless they are telling you exactly how it works, but I highly doubt that that's the case. Open source could be wrong, but they claim they do not track you as Google does. Now we can take their word or not. Yeah, and that's the question. And Start Page is the same thing. You know, in theory, any website that you put data into can track and store a lot of data. The question is, are they really doing that? Are they required to do that? All those fun odds and ends. DuckDuckGo has a GitHub page. I'm not sure the entire source code of the website's there. Okay, yeah, I don't know. My Core 2 Duo 4 gig RAM 100 gigabyte hard drive looks lonely compared to yours. Which hard drive? What would work well on a low-end laptop with AMD CPU and graphics? I'll tell you what I'm using is the laptop that, if you watch the beginning of the screen, and pardon me for not having the mic on part of the camera, is I have this guy here, which is a Lenovo S21E. It is a super low-end laptop, but this thing runs Linux, it runs Peppermint. And Peppermint on this just runs absolutely awesome. I used to run Ubuntu on here. Moved it over to Peppermint, and the thing works awesome. As far as what graphics, etc. does it run, let's see. Processor, it is an Intel processor. Now, there's 3 laptops in this class when I got it. This is the only one that was running a real processor. The other 2, which was an Asus and an HP, were running the Atom processors, which gave it a whole lot better battery life, but killed the performance. So I opted for this computer here because it has a real CPU, and I don't mind the fact it has a little bit less battery life, but still, I can still get between 6 and 8 hours of battery life on this computer, which is absolutely great for all of the applications I need it to. I think the downside is everything is soldered on this board, although I might open it up. You know what? Hey, we talked about computer repair. Let's just go ahead and open this bad boy up. Let's see what's under the hood down here. May as well, right? I'm just going to grab my other camera here. All right, let's see. So we're going to open this bad boy up. So it looks like there's just a small handful of screws here. So let's go ahead and just take these screws off. There's 1, 2, looks like 6 screws here. Hopefully there's nothing. If there's anything under any of these other things, then we're going to say, never mind. But see what happens. I'm pretty sure everything is soldered onto the board on this, but we'll see. Look, rabbit. Okay, actually, I'm also noticing that there's different size screws down here at the bottom. So you want to remember which size screws are where here. Now it's got to figure out exactly how we're going to crimp this guy out. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm just running a fingernail across there. That opened that one up. I'm just kind of running my finger along this way, getting all the crimps up. And there's something else here holding this panel back on. If it's a matter of tearing apart a ton more things here, I'm not sure I would necessarily want to do that, but let's... I don't know, maybe. Yeah, there does seem to be something else here, maybe another set of screws or maybe something else. So we're not going to open this guy up right now. I don't want to just do that without doing a little bit more research, see if I can find some blueprints for it online or something. So yeah, we're not going to do that. Oh well, thought I was going to, but a little bit more complicated than it should be. So we're not going to worry about it. So again, keeping track of which screws go where. These guys, the bigger screws went on the top, the 4 smaller screws go on the bottom. So we're just going to go ahead and screw these guys back in. Yeah, computer repair is kind of like car repair. It's really not all that difficult. It's just learning which parts to get replaced, when and how, etc. And so keeping that in mind is... it's just something worthy of consideration. But it's not nearly as complicated as some people think, and that's why companies like Geek Squad can really exist. A lot of those guys really don't know anything about computers, and some of them do, but a lot of them don't. They're just following checklists. And the sad thing is, even the people who do know about computers, they're still not free to go in and fix the computer like they should be able to fix the computer, because they're locked to have to do what's on the checklist. And Lord forbid somebody actually know how to do something and actually do it right. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, we just want to close the clip the back there back on there. With that being said, we just want to make sure that we're not we don't need to be over relying on other groups to fix basic small things. It's just a simple matter of just being intelligent about it, maybe looking online, anything like that. All right. Computer's booting KDE with Arch. Yeah, I do more JavaScript stuff than I like to, although usually I just use jQuery libraries. Way easier. Like to see a Linux mobile OS. So closest one I could find was Linux mobile OS as Tizen. Yeah. Torture that laptop. I don't want to torture my laptop. I like my laptop. If I wanted to torture the laptop, I would have had fun with it with a baseball bat, not spend money and fix it. So actually, I really like that computer. It's very handy. It fits nicely. It's easily portable and mobile, etc. It's a redneck laptop screen. That's right. Yeah, I looked at those stickers. I did not see any screws under the stickers, so I looked at that, and but there was a little bit more than it feels like there's something on the top that needs to come out. What I might just do is look online, see if I can find an assembly manual for it. Somebody who's broke their laptop trying to figure it out. But all right. Okay, well, let's see. I have a meeting in about 30 minutes with someone, so I think I want to jump off here, rest my voice a little bit, and drink a little bit more coffee, and get my office set back up for that, since I'm actually going to have to do a conference call, so that means turning on the Mac computer. It's the only one I do conference calls on Skype with. So with that, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. That was a fun live impromptu. I'm thinking maybe I'll try and do live browser wars on Wednesday. Let's see. I have a few other things going on Wednesday. If I do, it'd be like 9, somewhere between 9 and 10. I'm not sure when exactly, but I will hopefully know a little bit more next week. I'm not sure, or maybe I'll do it on Tuesday or Thursday. I don't know. I don't know yet. Next week is totally in the air. We'll see what's going on. All right. Let's see. Final comments here. The closest thing we have to a mobile Linux OS right now is KDE Neon. Well, the challenge with KDE, with the mobile Linux OS is KDE's system is based on Ubuntu Touch. And Ubuntu Touch is the thing which died. And so the question is going to remain is, does some other group start managing that to keep that alive? Because if that dies, KDE would have to start all over again. Because to work on the KDE mobile OS, like the mobile system, it requires Ubuntu Touch. So we have to be careful for that. All right. How to get good battery backup in Linux. Mine's Mint, only get 3 hours. I think a lot of it just depends on the computer and other things. I don't know. I'll look into that, though. Thoughts, would this work? VirtualBox on Windows 7 computer, dual core, 8 gigs RAM? If so, would Ubuntu or Mint run in VBox? I know Ubuntu and Mint both run in VBox. VirtualBox on Windows 7. So basically you have a Windows 7 computer, and okay, if you have 8 gigs of RAM, you're kind of coming up close. Like, I know my Mac has 4 gigs of RAM. It's a crappy Mac Mini. Can't run VirtualBox well over there. This computer here, I built it specifically to do VBox testing. That's why I gave it 32 gigs of RAM, and I give it 8 to the VirtualBox. So that generally works out fine. Anything going to happen on Sunday? The end of the world is coming on Sunday, I've heard. No. I will probably do a tinfoil hat time on Sunday. I'm trying to decide what topic. I have the one on more education, but I'm going to hold off on that. A friend of mine that likes to watch the streams is working on Sunday, so can't watch it, but I want to use some of the discussion points we've had. So we're not doing the education one. I have ISP data control, third-party cookie tracking. Maybe I might do third-party cookie tracking. I don't know. If I get zesty and want to make some cookies, we'll have a cookie party. Cookies, coffee, and talk about ISP cookie control and things like that. That sounds fun. All right. Well, everybody, have a good one. Enjoy, and I will talk with you guys later.